Happy Easter, everybody. This is Dave coming to you from the paddock here in Southern Maryland. It's Easter morning, Resurrection Sunday morning. I like that name. It's about 11:15 Sunday morning, and we got a perfect day heading at us. Yesterday it got hot for me. It was almost 85 degrees. Today's like gonna be a high of 73, but just perfect weather. So let's see. This this is really a horse farm video. So if you're not into horse farms, you don't want to see what my horse farm looks like. You don't waste the time. That's really all this is. So the only thing that's tobacco related really is that on the farm we have an old 200-year-old tobacco farm, tobacco barn. It was one of the original structures when we bought it. It was originally created as a tobacco farm. I mean, that's the history of Maryland. The history of Maryland's finances really is based on tobacco farming, and we kind of wrecked all that back in the 2000s with the Tobacco Restitution Fund when all the cigar companies got, so all the tobacco companies, cigarette companies got sued and lost. They did a whole bunch of judgments, and that pretty much shut down the tobacco buying auctions here in Southern Maryland. So if anybody grows tobacco here now, they have to have a contract. And so it's really become pretty unlucrative. So most people have stepped away from tobacco growing here in Southern Maryland, which is too bad because it's a huge part of the history here. In fact, in Maryland, the ground upon which the Maryland Capitol sits upon was bought with hogsheads of pressed tobacco. Hogsheads are huge. It looks like whiskey barrels, and they would press cured tobacco leaves down into them, and they would use them as cash. So kind of sad that it's no longer a part of our state, no longer part of my county. But even my county's flag, Calvert County, on the flag, so it's a yellow and black checkered flag with a tobacco leaf in the middle. That's still the flag, the official flag of Calvert County. I'll try to find it and put it up here. But so we have a huge tobacco barn on the property, and I do take you into it so you can see what a traditional tobacco barn looks like. But anyway, the tour of the farm starts right out front, right on the main road. I take you through, I show you the fields, I show you the house, I show you inside the barn, inside the riding ring, the outdoor ring, the indoor ring. I show you the equipment shed, which is what we use the tobacco barn for, the hay barn, the back fields. Just try to give you a good sense of what the horse farm looks like and how we operate it. So that's really what this entire video is. So really, I can't say there's too much tobacco content here. So if it's not your thing, I totally get it. I'm not even going to come back. I mean, we got about like a 23 minute series of video clips that I've put together for you. I'm not going to come back. I'm going to send you out onto the farm. I'm going to show you the reason we're there is we're trading our 2 horse trailers in. We have a 2 horse trailer and a 5 horse trailer. And what my wife really wants is a like a smaller trailer, but she wants what's called a walk-off trailer. Most trailers, you bring the horse on, and then when you get the horse where you want it, you actually have to back him off the trailer. Most horses are okay with it. Some are not. Our main horse is Cooper, and he has become backup resilient. And so what we're buying is really a 2 or 3 horse trailer that's got a big door on the side, so when you get to your destination, you can walk him out the front of the trailer. So it's called a walk-off trailer for those of you, if you want to know any lingo, there you go. So I show you both the 2 and 5 horse trailers at the end. We've made our deal with our dealer. I know this guy JD. He's been a friend for almost 20 years now, and so we've made the deal. Next Saturday in 6 days, the new trailer will show up, and maybe we'll do a video of that. But I don't know how much interest there is on horse stuff here. So that's it. Hope you're having a great Easter. Let's remember what it's all about. And that's it. Talk to you later, guys. Bye now. All right, guys. I'll give you a little tour of the horse farm. So this is our front gate. Summerfield. It's the main road going by there. This is our front field. We don't have too many horses in each field. We use these 3-rail fences with a hot wire on top. So this is called ram fencing. It's flexible. That way if a horse decides to run into it, they do not hurt themselves. This is a giant field. Those barns are on the other side of the property line. This is like a giant shoebox. If I zoom in all the way down to the other end, you can see one of our horses down there. That might be Cooper, that might be ours. You can tell it's a long ways away. That thing is a hay hut. We put round bales in there. That way the horses can't stomp it and the rain doesn't chew it up, so they last a lot longer. So that's why we give them hay out here in the fields, especially while the grass is still coming in. Mainly a winter thing. But this is our driveway all the way down here. We'll go on down there and I'll show you some more. All right, getting to the end of the long driveway here, and so this is what we consider the front gate. All our clients park their trailers here up front, nice and flat. You can get to them in all weather. That big black one, that 5-horse is ours, and that 2-horse black, those 2 black ones are our trailers. And they're why we're here today. Anyway, there's several structures on the farm. The old farmhouse was built in 1920. We had it completely gutted and redone back in 2013, 2014. And the road branches off here, and this is where we ask all our clients to go this way. You can see you got the outdoor riding ring, the 20-stall barn, and then the indoor riding ring. And then we got an equipment shed, and then back over that way we have a hay barn. So we'll go ahead, and that's our big black farm truck, our big F-350 for the farm. So we'll head on around. I'll give you a tour of all these different things. We have a little pasture set up out here. Don't use it very often, but it's nice to have a spillover pasture. Just give you a little view as we drive in. This is what everyone sees. It's the only way on and off the farm. Alright, so we're in the back of the house now. Coming up on another one of our pastures. And that hot wire has to be a continuous loop, so we have these little arches so the hot wire can go up over the horses, because we found that burying it in the ground at these gates was just a nightmare. Let's see, there's a hay hut, nice and close. You can see even with the hay hut, they managed to pull a lot of it out. So, hey, round bale will last us weeks or even a month if we use the hay hut. So they last about a day if we allow them to get in there and stomp on it and pee and poop in it and all that. So we've got a couple of our horses out here. These are client horses. Anyway, nice and calm, just the way we like it. You can see the fields are starting to come in nice and green. Typical April weather. Starts to let the fields come back. They kind of go pretty fallow, pretty brown during the winter time. Got a nice little small horse farm across. We share a fence line basically. That's what you see over there. That's that house. So you can tell the brown fence versus the white fence is our property line. And just kind of show you down the line here. We got 4 private paddocks, small little pastures for 1 horse for people who want their horse to live by themselves. They pay extra for that. That shed roof down there is our hay barn. That's our hay barn. There's our equipment shed. We're kind of on one side of the farm looking back across to the main barn. This is where my son's horse, Hey Duke, is buried. So you got a crepe myrtle and a stone. You're not gonna be able to read it, I don't think, but Hey Duke was his name. He died here in 2016. We have no idea how old he was because we bought him off. You can see from Goosewing to Summerfield. So Goosewing is the ranch we ride in Wyoming, really close to the Wyoming house actually. And we brought him here for his last few years. And then you guys told you about Merlin dying. So Merlin was recently buried right here. He's got a pink dogwood. In fact, you can see some pink right there, those flowers. Brand new tree. I can't believe it has any buds. Get off of there. And anyway, that's where Merlin is. So there's Hey Duke. There's Merlin. So you can see here's an example of one private paddock. Got one horse in it. That's all these are size 4s, one horse. Anyway, they're not very large. They might be an acre. But perfect size for one horse. We have 4 private paddocks here on the farm. That is an automated water. We've had the entire 60 acres plumbed. So every single pasture, every private paddock has its own water. And it autofills, so as they drink it, it just refills. So the guys have to come out and they clean them every day. But that's what those things are as you see them through these other videos. This is a solar charging head for our hot wire fence. So there's about 3 of them on the property. It runs a couple miles of cable. It's pretty interesting. It sends out a pulse. It's not a continuous hot wire. About every second it sends out a pulse. And you do not want to get hit by it. Another private paddock. Sasha's has never seen horses before. So here's another client horse. You can see it's shaved. A lot of the horses here are shaved, especially as we get into the summertime. Uh-oh, he thinks I'm coming to get him, so he's coming straight up to get released. Hey buddy, this guy's really tracking with us. He's reached the end of his private paddock, and here's the next one. Another client horse. You can see everyone's pretty calm here, pretty chill. That's what we kind of make sure all the horses are calm and cool and collected and healthy. All their decisions here are based on what's best for the horse. So there's the shed roof, shed barn. We call it the hay barn. I'm not gonna be able to open it for you because I don't have a key. We lock our hay up now because people steal hay because it's about $10 a bale. So anyway. These are the back fields. You're looking at 3 different fields back here. We actually have a little private one right here, but these are pretty large fields. These are probably 10 acres each. 1 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them. Got a hay hut. All our fields have hay huts in them, or all our pastures have hay huts. Here comes a client walking her horse in now for a lesson or a ride. Our property line goes way back past those trees and everything, but we're not going back there today. Indoor riding arena and the equipment shed. We keep 500 gallons of diesel and 500 gallons of unleaded fuel here on the property. We can run all our own vehicles. We could run them for probably a year or more. So anyway, it's just good to have enough fuel here in case something goes wrong out there in the real world. We can continue to operate the farm. All right, door to the equipment shed. Let's slide this bad boy open. Come here. Oh, pretty dark in here. This is an old Southern Maryland tobacco barn. You hang it all up in the rafters up there. So those of you guys are trying to grow your own, once you cut it, you gotta hang it and dry it, and that's what this barn is for. It's probably 200 years old. There's the stripping room. It's where you strip it off the stalk in the wintertime and put it in what they used to call hogsheads. Here's all our tractors, all our equipment, the water. Here's 2 round bales stacked up for you. They weigh about 1,500 pounds, so you don't want to mess with them. Got a manure spreader, 2 gators, whole bunch of just equipment. Anyway, the thing goes up 3 stories. People used to crawl around up there like monkeys and hang them and pull it down. So you can see how untight the farm was, the tobacco barn was built. You have to let air through here. In fact, all these panels open up and allow air to come through it, because once you harvest in August, it sits in here until January, and then you pull it down and strip it. All right, there's the equipment groomer. We groom our footing. I'll show you the footing in a minute. Both on the indoor and the outdoor riding ring gets groomed regularly. It's better for the horses, and it's better for the footing to keep it in good shape. There's the main barn, but what I want to show you is how close it is from the main barn to the indoor riding ring. So if it's bad weather, you're not outside for more than about 2 seconds. So as you come in, this is the indoor riding ring. It's 180 feet to the far side. There's the footing I was telling you about. You can tell it's all nice and smooth and level. We put out simple jump courses. That's what these things are called. Usually they're called gates, but when you put a bunch up, they're called a jump course. We got 2 viewing areas. People can sit up there and watch their kids, or husbands can watch their wives if the wives allow it. There's the second one. Got a nice flat white ceiling with LED lights. It's a nice riding ring. You can ride all year now that you have this. If you don't have an indoor riding ring, you can only ride here about 6 months a year. All right, this is the main door to the main barn. It was designed to be like a giant cross, kind of appropriate this weekend, huh? But it has airflow no matter which way the wind's blowing. Don't mess with the sign. She gets pissed. In fact, there her Q7 is. Don't park in her spot. Everyone uses tack boxes here, so everyone that has rides here has a tack trunk. So I'm walking the short end of the cross right now. Now I'm standing dead center and I can look. That's one long way. There's the other long way. It's in pretty nice shape. We've been open since January of 14, so over 11 years. It still looks pretty good in here. Got rubber mats down the middle. It's better on for the horse's hooves. Anyway, I should stop for a minute. Like, if you go look that way, that's the indoor. We just walked in that doorway out there. This is Sasha's first visit to the horse farm, so she's freaking out. If you go out this side, you go to the outdoor riding ring. We'll do that in a minute. Kind of gives us a good vantage point to look at the outdoor riding ring. We got a little more stone dust out here. The weather doesn't wash stone dust away as much, but we're getting got a bid to redo the footing here. So in the next month, this will all be redone. That is a mounting block. Put your horse on the tall side and you walk up the stairs and get on your horse. And we got some creative jump stands. Wishing well. Try to add some color. Green, blue, wishing well. Sometimes we put flowers in the flower boxes. Anyway, that is the outdoor riding ring. So we're back inside, just walking down the stalls. This is where Cooper lives. This is Cooper's stall. You see the guys have access to water, feed buckets, hay. Got hay stands. We keep it off the ground so they don't stomp on it and pee in it. And this is the back door to the stall. It is to what we call the stone dust paddocks. Sometimes horses get injured, and so we Sometimes they have to go to stall rest, which means they have to stay in their stall, or they're allowed to come out onto a stone paddock like this. So we have one on each side. Nice flexibility in case horses need a little extra care. The front door, if I spin around and go out the back door, we walk in between the two stone paddocks. We look down into the backfield here, and this is where the littles live. These are the minis and the small ponies. This is where Merlin lived. And this is Stormy and Rumble. Stormy was the unicorn the other day. He's obviously shed his horn. And this is Rumble. They're just here, the way we call them the mascots. Nobody rides them anymore. When Lauren was little, when she was 12, 13, she would ride them sometimes, but no way she can do that now. So they are just here for being cute. Very curious. Hi, Rumble. Yep, very social. Great addition to the farm. In fact, we got Stormy before the farm went operational. That's why he lived in our front yard for a while. Looking down the other side of the back side, there's the riding ring. We got more fields down the back. We got a round pen for training out there. There's what the back side of the barn looks like. So the weather vane up on top there is a dog. It's a golden retriever. It's Summer, the namesake of the farm, our old dog. She died at 11. Anne-Marie wanted to name the farm after her. This is the office. This is Anne-Marie's office. Not really the office. This is where Lauren's and Anne-Marie's tack trunks live. This is the only air conditioning on the farm if we need it, and we do during the summer. Little desk. Memento pictures. This was from when Lauren won the Washington International Horse Show. Look at that. 5 years ago now? No, 8 years ago. Do my math. Here's a picture of her winning. There's another picture of her when she was little. It was one of her first horses. This is her being an angel when she was a little girl with Decker. I don't know what else. I mean, this is where all our owner tack and paraphernalia go. This is the client tack room. They keep all their saddles in here. They have a fridge mainly for them if they want to put something in here, and just storage shelvings. We provide drinking water all year round. And then everybody gets a locker, so they get a locker and a tack trunk. That's really it. Helmets, saddles, tack, fridge. That's really about it. And this is the feed room. This is where we store all the feed. All feed is stored in cans, horse-proof cans. The horse will die if it breaks one in here and eats too much. There's the feeding, the grain feeding cart. And then we have a grid up here that by horse name, do they need anything special? And if so, what is it? A little table to mix up drugs and supplements if we need to. That's really it for the feed room. And right next door to it is the wash stall. So we have hot and cold running water in here. We have a heater over there. See if I can get the lights on. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. That's a little better. Anyway, wash supplies, sweep your own stuff out. Lots of horses like to poop when they get washed, so we have them clean it out so the drain doesn't get clogged. It's all rubberized mats in here. And that's the wash stall, right next to the feed room. We're pretty much back to the indoor riding ring end of the farm. And one stall, stall number 13, we don't run out. We use it for shavings. This is what would be used for bedding. So the shavings get changed at least once a day in every stall. Gets delivered right into here. Anyway, kind of boring, but that's part of the life. You better have good fitting if you're gonna run a horse farm. So this is called barn stars or barn squares. Amory painted up a few because she liked how they look. You'll see them on barns if you live in a rural area or drive through them. You'll see barns with these on the sides of them. Amory wanted hers on the inside because they last long. So this is why we're out here today. This is our 5-horse trailer, and we're trying to trade it in. Sorry for the spin, I got the damn dog. Hey, come on, girl. And this is what's called a gooseneck trailer. Probably losing most of my audience at this point, but you can see it's got this giant gooseneck, and this sits in the center of your bed. So you have to have a gooseneck ball joint, or ball joint. You gotta have a gooseneck ball hitch put in the middle of your bed. You really should be towing this with an F350 or better, because if you get 5 full-size horses on here, it's a pretty big load. This is the other reason we're out here. It's our 2-horse trailer. It's a bumper pull. So you just pull it with a bumper hitch. What we're trying to do is trade these 2 trailers in for one new one about this size that has a walk-through, so they can walk the horse on and walk the horse off without backing him off. So here's what the inside of a 5-horse trailer looks like. Here's what the inside of the 5-horse trailer looks like. So it's designed to be 2 up front, 2 in back, and then one, there's this, like in the center, these big doors close and it turns into like a stall. So you can put at least 5 in here.